We've got Romain and Nicolas. Let's bring them in here right now, man. There we go.
Hi.
There we go.
Hey
What
guys,
is up,
welcome.
fellas? Welcome in.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show, guys. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, of course, man. So typically when we start these things out, we just kind of like to get a little background on our guests, just kind of like the people behind the project. So basically, if you guys could tell us like a little bit of your background, how you got into crypto and, you know, how you got involved with ooNodz, that'd be awesome. Whoever wants to start.
Go ahead, Nicolas.
Okay, let's go. So I'm Nicolas Bekourian. Starting my life with crypto in 2009 because I was meeting with friends that studied the white paper of Satoshi Nakamoto, but the dream stopped here because I was young and unconcerned. So letting the rocket go and going back to crypto in 2017, and then like starting using crypto, purchasing crypto for the speculative thing, of course, and digging into fundamentals. Sorry, then. And going to talking groups, and I met Romain in one of these talking groups 2 years ago, and we just realized that we shared the same vision of the crypto evolution, decentralized infrastructure evolution, and more particularly the Avalanche ecosystem vision and prospects. So we started ooNodz last year, and then we are. Maybe a short summary of my background. I started to graduate in with a business administration degree, and then doing consulting for financial services, and then starting to joining the startup world with virtual reality for entertainment and blockchain to deal with right management. Nice. Then space data, also to be certified with blockchain. It was 5 years ago. And then meeting Romain and founding SourceNode, which is a company that carry the ooNodz project today.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, great crypto origin story there. Romain, how about you? Oh, I think you're muted there.
Sorry. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
I'm a computer scientist engineer. I've been working in the industry for more than 10 years. And I've been in crypto since 2012. My tutor internship at that time was mining Bitcoin in his garage. So it was very, very funny. Yeah.
For sure.
But for a long time, I remained just a simple user. And 2 years ago, I tried to find a subject on which I could combine my skills with crypto. And that's why we create ooNodz.
Awesome. Very cool. Can you guys tell us a little bit about the story behind the name? Because it's a very unique name. For a little while, I didn't even know how to read it. Tell us what ooNodz came from, where that came from. And then, of course, tell us a little bit about the project as well, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. It's basically nodes, N-O-D-Z, sorry, Z in French. And in front of the nodes, you have the infinity sign. Infinity sign. And of course, if you write the sign, it's double O, so ooNodz, because first the node's name was maybe too short to be used on a legal point of view. That's why we choose ooNodz finally.
So I guess the two O's in the middle or in the beginning represents infinite number of nodes. And you guys have sort of gamified the name. That's very cool.
Love that.
Infinite nodes, yeah.
Yeah.
The purpose.
Tell us a little about the project and what it does for the end user. So just so we understand.
of course, the ooNodz network is a Web3 hosting service that delivers non-custodial and permissionless validation as a service offers for the Avalanche ecosystem. That's to date, of course, because we are studying other protocols, but we will get back to this later. And this project is run by ooNodz, which is also a French engineering company that is working to make tomorrow's decentralized infrastructure accessible to the largest number possible. We also offer IT and advisory services to blockchain operators, individuals and businesses, of course, and as well as to companies and institutions that wish to launch new Web3 use cases. So we basically can do advisory, but we focus today on the permissionless services that we started to deliver for the Avalanche ecosystem.
Got it. So I guess, from my perspective, and I've run nodes for a little while, I've even experimented with different sort of hardware to run nodes. You essentially would allow me to easily launch a node, put a stake, and basically, you would provide this to me as a service. This way, I don't have to worry about node software upgrades, which I know is always a nightmare for, the Avalanche guys. I wouldn't have to worry about the hardware uptime. I wouldn't have to worry about the networking. I wouldn't have to worry about the storage aspects. Is that correct? You guys essentially are an easy to launch, easy to use node service provider.
Yes.
Yeah. And the security also, because you have to carry out,
of course,
all the security aspect of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very cool. How did you guys come up with this idea? I know there are a few node providers out there nowadays, but what drove you to this solution?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, when we start, we saw that there were like just one offers on the market, one offer that was publicly available. All of the offers, you have to go through an email, through a Discord, and chat with the team and ask for the services. And we wanted something to be freely accessible, and we thought that would be a great idea if we could just offer a service that will be integrated with a Web3 directly. So right now, our users are able to get the services just with a MetaMask account. They will go on our app, connect MetaMask, and go ahead, buy the services. And yeah, that's it. Fairly
Very
simple,
cool.
actually.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I guess, again, just to provide a little bit more context for the users who are listening, if you try to stake to your own node, you have to go get hosting services, because back in the day, it was possible to run the nodes in your closet, but the networks are quite busy now. Home residential networks just can't really handle the data back and forth without impacting performance. You have to get servers, you have to install the node software, then you have to go into your wallets, specifically like the Avalanche wallets. Then you have to stake your assets. There's quite a number of steps involved in there. And being able to do this directly from something like MetaMask cuts down the number of steps quite a lot. And how does your infrastructure work, if you don't mind me asking? Like, I have MetaMask, I have a Vox, I want to run a node. How do you guys make that happen? What is the magic under the covers?
Yeah, I'll try to get just simple with that explanation. But under the hood, when a user just came and asked for services, we spin up a validator on OVH or Scaleway, which is two French providers. And we spin up a node in just a matter of minutes. We have our own routines that help us to just spin up something. Just spin up the Avalanche node in like 5 minutes. So yeah, we work hard for that.
Amazing. So another important thing people should know, when you try to launch an Avalanche node yourself, like it depends on your settings, but if you try to launch a full node, for example, it's going to take a long time for it to bootstrap.
Yeah.
If you launch a prune node, it's still going to take some time. But one thing that I just picked up, if you launch it with ooNodz, then, or infinite nodes, if you will, then you get it in 5 minutes, right? So you guys actually have the ability to create the proper database in place quickly, allow people to start staking immediately.
Yeah, perfect.
Amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about why Avalanche? We obviously love to hear feedback about why projects choose what they build on. So you guys at least are starting out or doing Avalanche for now. Tell us why. Why did you start here?
Basically for the fundamentals. The way we are able to spin up like infinite validators on Avalanche is maybe the best reason we started with Avalanche, because we have so much opportunity. There is also the subnet vision that will help us to create more value with subnet hosting I think, and I hope in the near future. So yeah, that's basically why we choose Avalanche on the first service. That is why also we don't go on the Cosmo ecosystem, because you have a hard cap of 300 validators, I think. So yeah, we won't go there actually.
So your plan is to basically work with ecosystems that have permissionless and fully elastic, as we call them, networks that can scale, right?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay. And you obviously want to provide nodes across as many blockchains as possible. So your project is looking to expand beyond Avalanche as well. Very cool.
Yeah. This is not a priority right now. We want to stay focused on Avalanche and to provide services for the subnet. We are currently working for that, but maybe we can just speak about it a bit later.
Got it. Okay. Let me ask you a little bit more about ooNodz specifically. So as a retail user, not a project, not an institution, as a retail user, why would I come to ooNodz? Give us the shill.
Yes. It's simple as that. We were a customer before when Romain starting to tell you why we dig into this, we come to this idea. As a customers, we wanted the perfect service to fulfill our needs, taking the assessment. We are the hypothesis. Sorry, we are not technical. We have no technical background. We have, but the customer won't maybe not have don't have the technical background. Sorry. So betting on that, we made something with which is suitable for every kind of people. So which has a very refined UI, a clear user experience, smooth, fast, a few clicks to get your validator in a few minutes. You just need a Web3 wallet and a browser. The performance are optimized. Of course, we have a very optimal uptime target, and we are there with a new bringing new cloud providers to the ecosystem. So we don't use AWS, which according to the last Messari study from June, like at the more than 42% of shares of the market of the cloud providers on the Avalanche validator market. So going with OVH and Scaleway, it's also a way to decentralize the market. And of course, we choose the right price for a premium service, and it turns out to be sweet versus the competition. So that's very cool for us and for the customer, of course.
Got it. Okay, so that's the retail perspective. So then, you mentioned cost as well. So if I remember, I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me, but if you run a Avalanche node on AWS using, roughly the standard specs, I think it costs anywhere around like $150 to $250 per month, right? How do you guys, like, what would be the cost to do this through ooNodz?
The cost is it depends on the period you want to subscribe or service. You can take a weekly subscription, a monthly or a yearly subscription. Of course, the longer you stay, the cheapest it is. For a month, it's $40, and if you take a year, you have 1 month free. On a weekly basis, you are on $11 a week, 7 days. So it's basically far cheaper than AWS or every service based on these cloud providers. And of course, we want to insist on that. We are not cheap like because our service is cheap. We just optimized, making automation for everything on our infrastructures and on our architecture in order to have the more competitive price possible with the best performance and user experience for our customers.
Amazing. Okay. So that's a very significant difference. If you're running one node or just a few, there's a very significant difference. If you think about how your classic cloud providers would charge you, they're going to charge you monthly. And if your costs are like 1/4 or 1/5 through something like ooNodz without compromising security and other stuff, it's a no-brainer.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us. Yeah, sounds like for sure. Tell us a little bit about your partnership with GoGoPool as well.
It started in last June, and we first started with a joint marketing campaign because we saw we have complementary services. GoGoPool is providing the way to validate Avalanche at half of the cost, almost 1,000 AVAX plus 100 AVAX in GGP tokens, and we provide an easy way to get the node, and our service are complementary. So we made this campaign in July. It was from the 7th July to the 12th July, remember? And yes, we provided discounts on our subscriptions, and in the same time, GoGoPool was providing rewards for the new customers. And of course, it was the first step because we saw many more things to do together, and there is more things to come in the near future.
Amazing. Can you tell us about other types of partnerships you're looking for as well? You mentioned subnets as well, so I want to ask about that too.
Yes, of course. Regarding subnets, regarding everything specific to the Avalanche ecosystem, we'll communicate on that in the next week/months. Nothing to disclose at the moment. But regarding the infrastructure aspects, we made 2 partnerships with OVH and Scaleway, which are the French cloud providers, but big ones, doing premium services, building solutions for all kind of companies. So we are very proud to work with them because they help us bring a better product and have access to the best support a company could dream of. So that's the first partnership we see it for the moment.
Interesting. And like what is your plan around subnets? You mentioned that you guys are working on subnets, etc. Like, what are you guys doing in that regard?
Yeah. We planned to let our user just have a simple user interface, and they will be able to just click and spin up a validator, and then spin up a subnet on demand. So right now we are. You can ask for us to run a subnet. We are actually running a subnet right now on production side. And we are planning to support other subnets, but it still lacks the permissionless offer, and it will be available around the end of years. And we hope we will go hand in hand with the fact that other projects will also start to open up their subnets, because right now all the subnets are permissionless. So yeah, we kind of hope for that.
Understood. So I guess another potential user for you is going to be projects that are building their own subnets. They could come work with you directly to launch their subnet and completely let you handle majority of their infrastructure with respect to nodes and validation. Is that correct?
Yeah. We
very cool.
I don't know if I can say that, but we are working with GGP with other project too. So yeah.
Of course. You know, the one thing you mentioned, right? All the networks currently are permissioned. Yes. The AWM, the warp messaging functionality recently arrived. I think we're going to start seeing more permissionless networks as projects mature. And most likely, I think the real proliferation where, projects open themselves up for validation is really going to happen when the market starts picking up a little bit, because everybody's slow right now. Even though they're building stuff in the background, they're not sort of using all the ammo, if you will. So I expect the app chain specific hype or narrative change or paradigm shift, there you go, that's what I was looking for. I expect that to happen as the market starts to recover a little bit. Okay. What features can you give us? We love alpha on this show, so give us a little bit of alpha about your project and products.
You got a sound effect and everything.
The first one we want to announce, we are currently putting the support of GNOZIS app on production. So user will be able to use a multi-sig contract wallet to use our services jointly with others. I don't want to spoil too much right now. So it will be good because DAOs will be able to just spin up the nodes quite easier and through a multi-sig wallet. So it will be, I think it is a cool feature. So we expect to ship this around the end of September's, maybe, begin October.
Nice.
Very cool. And I think you did mention that Avalanche is the focus, at least for now, but are you able to talk about what other blockchains are on your roadmap for this type of service?
Yeah, we developed the foundation to make our services extendable to other protocols, but the first one I think we will address will be Ethereum, because there is also a lot of validator to address. But it is not our priority. I think this is something we'll go ahead on 2024, I think.
Got it. Okay. Very cool. So give us, were you going to say something, Nicolas?
Yes, to add, and regarding what you said at the beginning of the show, that a lot of big institutions, BlackRock, etc., are building on Avalanche. So that's another point that is very important for an ecosystem like Avalanche. They are looking for big corporates, big institutions to adopt in decentralized infrastructures. And due to the subnet prospects, we want to make everything to put every effort to secure the subnet explosion or positioning regarding subnet services. We can deliver if all these big ones, big names, adopt the Avalanche tools and infrastructure. We have to be ready. So that's why the focus is on that today. But of course, we will deliver for other protocols in the future.
Awesome. Very cool,
Amazing.
man.
Where do people go to get information about your project? Like, how would I get updates about what you start supporting when you release new features? Tell us a little bit about that as well. I think I asked you a lot of questions. I think people are going to want to sort of subscribe and get information as you.
Yes, of course. It's the classic. We won't say trio, but Discord, Telegram, and Twitter. And of course, we have LinkedIn also, but it's more for the source node, the company feed. Regarding ooNodz, it's mainly on Discord for everything support regarding the application is on Discord. Everything you want to ask, of course, Telegram also, but Discord is more suited for support purposes. And Twitter for the announcements, main announcements, of course, and interaction with the world. No surprise on these points.
Yeah, we'll run those on the bottom of the screen here in just a second when our producer gets those up. But yeah, awesome guys. Really exciting projects. I know you guys might have gotten this in advance, but you notice we do a little bit of DJing here on the show. So I do have, before you guys go, I have to get a song request from each of you, because we are going to play a little bit of music at the tail end of the show. So you can send it to our producer. I don't mean to put you on the spot. But if you got something right off the top of your head, I'll take it right now. Otherwise, you can send it to the private chat and we'll get it going here. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I will write it on the chat.
Right in the chat? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have a little past of DJing also.
Oh, do you? Awesome.
It's a very tough question for a DJ to find one song, because we have multiple songs in
Tell me about. Well, it's great to I wish I had known that before we started. That's very cool. Yeah. So I moved from the DJ world to the crypto world during the pandemic, because live events ceased to be a thing, and that's how I used to make my living, is DJing at live events. So yeah, very cool, man. It's always nice to meet former DJs in the space, because there actually is more of us than you would think. So there's that cool intersection of technology. You know what I mean? I think we all just, although guys, get this one. I saw a DJ that I followed on Twitter. He had a heartbreaking tweet. Are you ready for this? He said, every time I walk into the studio and turn on the keyboard that I bought for 700 Bitcoin in 2012, it just laughs at me. You know what I mean? How much would that hurt? You know what I mean? You got a keyboard for 700 Bitcoin in 2012? Oh, man. God damn, that would hurt.
Yes, anyway. Remember the pizza, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe get a pizza, maybe just like
eating the pizza with the keyboard.
Well, you could look at the keyboard and say, hey, that's a $20 million keyboard. You know what I mean? So anyways, this was awesome. I got some requests from you guys. Yes, I do have.
Yes.
Okay, awesome requests. Oh, Daft Punk. You guys got, of course. One of the greatest of all time.
Let's go.
I played some Daft Punk at the top of the show too. That's awesome.
Yeah, yes. One more time. Yes, of course.
Yeah, one of the more predictable ones, but I you know how it is, guys. What a great group. Okay. It looks like we do have the ooNodz Twitter in the chat, guys, if you want to check them out. But I just want to thank you guys so much, Romain and Nicolas, for hanging out with us and talking about ooNodz. This has been awesome and very informative. Remember, you can find them on Twitter. You can find them on Discord. As they said, Discord is their primary communicator. So hit them up on their Discord. Get in there and say what's up to the ooNodz guys. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We got to have you back for more announcements and more alpha. But I just want to say thanks again and have a great week, guys.
Thank you very much for the invitation and for the hosting. It was perfect.
Of course, man.
See you guys next time.
We'll have you back anytime.
Thank you.
You guys take care.